What is up, guys? Mobile Care News here, and we have some news here that AT&T will basically talk about its future plans for its 5G network. I know AT&T it has a lot of potential to see what they do. I honestly believe they all company carriers have potential. And I'm curious to see what they'll say about their 5G. I know T-Mobile and Verizon are also competing. All of them competing for 5G this year. They're honestly all competing more for 5G than 4G because I remember 4G, it was like going back and forth, like neck and neck. Both were going on and on. But I feel like back then they weren't um, being as aggressive or strong promoting their 4G LTE network back way before 5G ever came into existence. And I'm reading the article, and if you scroll down, it says what they do about their stock, etc., etc. Just keep scrolling down, but this is an interesting part that I did not know about AT&T. They have more than 225 million monthly subscribers with their services, whether it be their TV service, home internet service, wireless service, and they provide more than 100 million U.S. customers with entertainment and communication experience. So that's pretty good. That's basically saying AT&T has a lot of competition or people they want to stay with. Like, and it's just like the other carriers. Everyone has a lot of customers, a lot of consumers. They want to use their products and services, like businesses. All AT&T has really high fast internet, and I've actually had experience from a former AT&T customer. I'm not saying I hate AT&T. I don't like hate them to the core. It's just I didn't really have a good experience with them for about 9 years. Honestly, tried to have the best experience, but I just don't think it was for me, so that's why I switched to T-Mobile. And honestly, T-Mobile might happen the same thing. I'm not really sure. I could go to Verizon. I could stay with them. I could go back to AT&T, honestly. I'm not sure. We'll see how the future goes. I'll literally make this in a future video. But if you scroll down here, keep scrolling down, it has, 3 million business customers. Now that is actually a lot of people because a lot of people do business with AT&T. A lot of people want to use AT&T's, internet or, services for their business, online service, whether it be restaurant, e-commerce, people will use their service regardless. Like if you do have a restaurant, you want to use, the highest speed of internet, the highest connection, anything else, and pretty much AT&T has any business model you like need help on or you just want to use. The same thing with, Verizon, T-Mobile, etc. And scrolling down here, I did not know AT&T had a lot of this. That I knew they have HBO and HBO Max, but they also have Warner Brothers, TNT, TBS, True TV, CNN, DC Entertainment, New Line Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Turner Classic Movies. The list goes on and on. But they have all these services that people, want to use or use on their daily basis. And I think, and the fact that they have like over millions of customers for these services, you know, they're not gonna go, bankrupt. They're not gonna have issues. I just really think they need to start improving their home internet service. Well, I mean, they're already improving it now. I think a month ago, if I recall correctly, they made like 3 million new subscribers to HBO Max, which is good. They are honestly, I will give them credit. They actually are focusing more on their HBO Max service, which is good. And I think they're also, you know, uh, fixing or improving their home internet service here and there. But I really think their 5G really needs to be more aggressive and be more competitive if you really want to get in the competition with Verizon and T-Mobile because 5G is going to be the main focus here when people want to go to their service. And AT&T is a really good service. I used to have them. Keep scrolling down. They have all these services, and that's about it for this article that I read. Not really much. It doesn't have the info I wanted for what they will really talk about. All I know is they're going to talk about their future 5G on the 17th of May, which is in 7 days. So I will see what they talk about. It'll be interesting what they say. I'm pretty sure AT&T has big plans for their 5G network. I honestly hope they improve because my family still has AT&T. My dad still has. He's been with AT&T for I think 20 years now. He used to have Sprint, but let's just say he didn't have a good experience with Sprint. It's a long story. But anyways, he's been with AT&T for a long time, and they treat him pretty well, honestly. I'm not saying they treated me well. They treated me pretty well too. They treated us both like, for good customers, to stay. But I just did not like their coverage. I'm not saying their coverage was bad. They had good coverage, like full bars. It was pretty fast, blazing speed. But this was back then when plans weren't unlimited, and it was an issue. It was an issue for a lot of people, and they charge you with overages. I know T-Mobile, I think they did it once, and then they stopped, and then Verizon did it. They've been doing it for a while. All three carriers charge you overages, I believe, until T-Mobile stopped, and then Verizon, I think they also stopped, but they just slowed down your speed. So there's always a hit or miss or a con or pro with these services. But that was like way back then. And my dad stayed with AT&T. They gave him good deals. And that's what I like about AT&T. Could they care about the customer first? Every carrier goes for the customer first. I'm pretty sure they do. Like if it was just for like the money, then the business it'd be pretty bad right now. But I'm really interested to see what they do for the future. I hope they improve their 5G because my family's coverage for AT&T is pretty good. It is not like bad at all. They get good coverage. Hopefully, they improve their towers and services, and we'll see what the future holds for AT&T and T and their stock and all their other services. So far they're doing really well. They just have to improve more on their 5G and anything else they can cover, and hopefully try to dominate and beat T-Mobile and Verizon.